Hey, it's Adrian. Just before we get you to this episode, do me a favor and head over to pageantlaunch.com. We are starting the world's first dedicated pageant review site to make the pageant industry safe, transparent, and fair. Three things that I know it is most of the time, but it's not like that all of the time. So head over to pageantlaunch.com, enter your email address, it's completely free, and let's get you to this episode. Bonjour, everyone. I can see those of you watching in at home, I don't know, you can't see this, but I can actually see what Dominique is doing during the song, and I can see.
I was dancing. It's so good.
But welcome, everyone. I've got a special guest today, Dominique Doucette, who is a Miss Universe Canada 2020 finalist. Dominique, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
I don't know where to start. I've interviewed a few Canadians, and obviously you've got a pretty significant history with pageants, so we'll get stuck into that. And guys, if you've not watched one of my interviews before and you have any questions for Dominique, put them in the comments and I'll pass them on. Chelsea has said hi to me. Chelsea's over in Canada, so hi, Chelsea. So guys, whatever you got, questions for Dominique or just messages of support, questions about the Universe Canada system, put them in the comments and I'll pass them on. But Dominique, why don't we get started with pageantry? How did you get involved in this crazy world?
Yes, it was late, I think. It was after my first year of university. I was like having a hard time to get involved in Quebec City since I moved from New Brunswick to Quebec. And I decided I always had that passion of being on stage, being involved in different charities. So after my first year of university, I did the little contest, Miss Salmon Festival. It's like a festival in my town, in New Brunswick, a small town.
Salmon, like...
Yes, because my town is renowned for salmon. It's a wonderful place to go fishing. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. When you win, do you get a salmon or like what?
No, you get a scholarship actually to continue your studies if you study.
Oh, wow. Okay,
exactly.
That's better than getting a salmon.
Yeah, exactly.
So, whereabouts are you? Did you say you're from in Canada? I don't know Canada very well, but whereabouts are you?
I was born and raised in Campbellton, New Brunswick. And I moved to Quebec City to pursue my studies, and I'm still living here after I graduated university.
Right. Okay. So that was your first pageant, and now obviously you're in Miss Universe Canada 2020.
Yes.
What other pageants have you been involved with up to this point?
Yes, exactly. My first pageant was Miss Salmon Festival, and when you win your little town, you go automatically to Miss New Brunswick. And I went to Miss New Brunswick. I won second runner-up, so like third place. And it wasn't over because I was really a resilient person. And when I fail at something, I get back up so quickly and I want another challenge and I want to be better every time. So I went to Miss Canada Trademark in 2015. It was all the same year. It was in March. And I won that pageant, but I was the youngest Miss Canada that ever won Miss Canada in 2015. And I won that at 19 years old. But internationally, I was still a teenager. So I went and to Miss Teenager Universe in Panama. And I won that contest and had an amazing year with the Miss Teenager Universe organization. And after I went back to give my crown the year after in Guatemala.
Right. Can you tell us a little bit about your year as Miss Teenager Universe? Because I've seen that obviously on your social media. So is that separate? I guess first question is that a separate system to the Miss Universe system? It
is completely different. The organization is really based in Guatemala, and it's really Tony that owns this pageant. It's been on for like 10 years. It's a renowned pageant in the teenagers industry, but it's completely different from the Miss Universe organization.
And can you tell us a bit about your year as Miss Teenager?
Yes.
what you got up to, the things that you did?
Yes, we need to definitely like bring awareness to the breast cancer or like association. Every girl did it for all of the title holder did it. Had the chance to really get involved more in university, had lots of TV interviews. I traveled also with my mother to Dominican Republic, and we went to give some for called like a school supplies to schools down there that needed some things. And I went also to Guatemala, did the whole week with all of the other girls and passed on my crown.
Right. So what is it that you said that you came third, which is not really losing, but obviously
No.
You wanted to win. But what is it that attracted you to pageantry? Like what do you love about pageantry? Why do you keep doing it?
I think it's the balance. I always loved being on stage, but growing older, I realized it's really like not only like the pageant and being on stage, being on the spotlight, but the charity and pageant really combine both of those those two things that I really love. So that's the thing that I love.
So can you give us an idea as to what your favorite section or what's your favorite part of the pageant? Is it the interview? Is it being on stage, or you can't choose? You love it all?
I definitely love it all, but I am a human resources advisor. So definitely, and I recruit some people. So my favorite part is definitely the interview, because I think it's the part where you actually know the people for their heart and for the reason why they are competing. And I think I have a good energy, and I like to talk about all of the stuff that I do, and I really love to meet new people. So just interview is amazing.
Yeah, it's easy to see the energy. We can see you're literally bouncing up and down in the chair. It's like you can't sit still. I mean, you've got normally a lot of energy in life. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it is fair to say.
So it looks like you even have difficulty just sitting still. It looks like you want to jump up and start jumping up and down.
Yeah, I want to go to Australia and meet you in Sydney, but I can't with the COVID situation.
Oh yeah, no. Let's not talk about that. Every interview I have to talk about COVID, and it's like, I want to go here, can't go here. I want to go there, can't go anywhere at the moment. So hopefully, 2021. On that note, the Miss Universe Canada pageant. I can't keep up with all of it. So is it being held in person or is it being held virtually?
It's going to be held in person, but they assure lots of our health and safety. Like our hotel room will be cleaned out, and nobody will come in our room like 3 days before. So they're all sanitizing. The masks are mandatory. We will have them also on stage, except the part where we are only alone, and we'll have it in our like wrist. So when we get off stage, we need to put it right away. We won't have all of the other activities and that they did like all of the year before because of the COVID, but they're making sure our health and safety, and we also all taking a test before going there. And we are like all mixed up with different girls from different provinces, but now they're staying us with the girls from the same province to make sure it's not spreading all over Canada.
Right. Okay. So they've taken by the sounds of it, they've taken every precaution that they can, and they're creating a little pageant bubble for you guys, which is amazing. Dominique, when is the big day? When does Universe Canada kick off?
It's going to be start on the 9th of October, but the final will be on the 24th.
Okay. And we've already said, well, I don't think you've said, but I think I can tell that you're quite competitive and you like to win.
Yeah.
So
But I'm not a bad loser. I love to win. Everybody know that I'm really a try hard, and sometimes it's like fake it till you make it. but this time I did a lot of preparation. Yes, I want to win. I would lie if I didn't want to, but I'm not a sore loser, and I would be happy if it's not me.
Of course. Good of you to say. In terms of yourself, though, for Universe Canada, have you set yourself any expectations as to where you want to place? I mean, you've done very well, obviously, in pageantry already. Yeah. Do you have any goals for yourself with Universe Canada?
I guess I hope I always, it's not to sound cocky, but I like not to set my expectation really high. Like I hope to win and be the next Miss Universe Canada, and I believe in my mindset that I can be. But sometimes I know that it's easier for me to reach for the stars, and after if I land on the hurt, it's okay too,
Yeah.
and I'll be happy with whatever is the outcome, but I'm reaching really like high because I don't want to expect nothing else than to be the best version of myself. And if I said to myself I only want to be in top 20, I think my preparation would probably be affected. That at this point I think I would make the top 20 easy and just stop there.
Yeah.
But it's all in like really humble that I'm saying it, because every girls want to win, I think, and we all are doing pageant not to win. I think.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. I think if you're going into it and you spend a lot of time and energy on it, you might as well do your best and try to win. Otherwise, what's the point?
Mhm.
But if you don't win, you're still not going to be a bad loser, which is very, very important. Now, over in the comments, Dominique, Chelsea has
Yes.
got a question for you. She's asked, how do you feel the transition is between teen pageants and Miss pageants? Was it easy for you? Did you feel comfortable during that time?
Mhm. It wasn't easy because I took a break, a 5-year break. And it wasn't easy for me because when you're a teen, you're more like a bubbly, funny person, like I am. And as a Miss, I needed to find my sexiness, my like power. Like I'm a really powerful, confident woman, but being a bubbly person is easier for me. So no, it wasn't easy. But I think preparation throughout anything that's not easy or anything in pageant, it's preparation. It's the key, and consistency and finding that sexiness into me.
I agree with that. I mean, the French accent just helps everything. The way all this. Where do you get this energy from? I mean, as I said, you can't sit still. I mean, have you always been
Yes.
energetic? Is it just you had a really good coffee, or where does this enthusiasm come from?
No, just because when I talk about something that I really like, I become like really like emotional involved, and I always have that energy, and I don't drink coffee because I would be like up in the sky.
I think that would be really funny to see you on coffee. I don't think you'd be able
Yeah.
to shut up in 24
Like
hours.
no, my coworkers are like never, never, never give her coffee or anything.
Have you ever tried it? Have you ever had a coffee and just for fun and seen?
I
No.
tried it, just like a few sips, but I don't like the taste. I know it's a taste that you can develop like wine or anything, but I think it's not a good thing for me if I develop the taste of coffee.
Well, you definitely don't need it, that's for sure. Dominic, can you tell us? I mean, obviously, as you said, you're more the bubbly person, and you had to sort of work to find to transition into the Miss section. Can you tell us how you feel you've developed as a person through pageantry, though? I mean, it's been what? So it's been you've been involved in pageantry for a few years. So how do you feel like you've changed as a person?
I think that I've got involved a lot in the Miss Canada organization throughout the years, with like organization being chaperone with the Miss Canada that I won in 2015. But this year I was really concentrating on myself, and I knew I was in this process. So just seeing the other girls and that, like analyzing what they are doing, how they do it, just help us also get a reflection of ourselves, how we hack and what do we do. And I think that any girl can tell that pageant is the most soul searching process we ever done. Even in life, before preparing for an interview for a job, I think pageant girls will own any job interview and their career, because they know themselves more than anybody, because you need to have an opinion on anything. And sometimes it was hard just to have an opinion on something. Like it was hard to, no, but I don't have an opinion on that. And it's okay. You also need to understand that it's okay if you don't have an opinion on that. I work with some coaches, and I learned so much just about myself, and not only like inside, but spiritually, like my mindset, how I believe in myself, and my confidence really increase for sure. Because when you know yourself, you know your worth too.
Yeah. Can you give us an idea? I mean, you talked about your preparation, and every pageant girl prepares differently. Can you give us an idea as to what you've been doing to prepare and how much work has been involved?
Yes, for sure. I practice my makeup, my hair like 3 times a week. I do my runaway about 1 hour a day. And I also
Wow.
have a coaching because, like I told you, I'm a bubbly person, can't stand still, having too much fun. But now I need to like really be more like still and be more poised, because it can like be seen as not being confident because it looked like I'm too nervous, but it's just me. And yes, so working on that was really the part where I put more time. I also do lots of interview, just like I have a little bowl with many questions, and I practice like 30 minutes a day, I guess. And really just my wardrobe is like a ongoing process.
Yeah.
Working on our documents, I can't even count the times I have a document with all of my budget that I put, so I know if I don't win and want to do it again next year, I know how much money it costs and how I put it into it. And I don't know, I can't count because it probably won't be worth it at the end, but for like just people to know how much time it is, it doesn't seem to be worth it. But just knowing yourself like that and achieving and challenging yourself like we do, it's not worth, it's worth all of the pennies and all of the minutes that I put.
You sound very prepared.
I am, because I didn't want to go and not be the best version of myself. I don't want myself to compare with the other girls, but I didn't want to said, oh, what if I did that, or what if I did that, and I didn't want to go there and told that to myself, because this I would be really like disappointed about myself. But other than that, I would be happy with whatever is the outcome.
Okay. I've got an important question to ask you. I've interviewed a couple of teenage queens,
Yes.
and they're almost opposite to you. So they come across as especially when they interview, they come across as very mature. And so when they transition to the Miss section, in fact, they were told by their coach that they needed to be less mature and be a bit more bubbly. So when they went to the Miss system, for them it was very easy because that's kind of where they felt they fit. You have, sounds like, the opposite problem, where you're
Yes.
usually very bubbly, and you're going into the Miss system where you have to learn, I guess, to be more poised. Is it difficult? Because we also talk about being yourself. Is it difficult for you to go into the Miss section and have to be a bit more poised when maybe it's not normally how you are?
It's just, I think, yes, it's a bit hard, but I think it helped me also at work. In meeting, I was always getting so emotionally involved when I believe in a point in a meeting with all of the manager, because I'm like in different comedy and different like meetings, and it helps me just also know that I can't be emotionally involved in any and everything, and just be poised. Help me at work also. It's not just only like being yourself, but there's ways to say things to
Yeah.
make sure that you're more like understood by everyone, and to not annoy people. It's also like a respect. I have lots of energy, but sometimes if you don't had your coffee in the morning, it can be annoying for you. So but but it's like that. And I think it's just a balance, and it's not just not being yourself. Like, if I can take an example, like my we can learn from other queens that won Miss Universe or Miss Universe Canada. They say like, don't worry about like, don't be too much, don't show the 100% of yourself, don't do like the runway like you should, like don't show that you can turn like that. But that, for me, I don't listen to anything, all of that stuff, because that for me is not being 100% of myself, because some of the values that I have is to be really honest. And when I go to a practice, I give my 100%. But they're saying like being poised more and be more relaxed. I think it's important and it will serve me, so that I listen to that advice. But sometimes in pageantry, you need to give and take some advice and go with what you think is best, and not like you said, like not be completely out the opposite of who you are as a person.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point, because a lot of pageant queens will say their best advice is to be yourself, but
Mm-hmm.
also I think you need to, because everyone will give you advice even
Mm-hmm.
when you don't ask for it. So I think you need to be very good at knowing what advice to take and what advice to not take. But I think
Mm-hmm.
that comes from knowing yourself as well.
Exactly, and depending on your value, and yes, it's important to stay true to yourself. But if you compare me to when I won Miss Teenager Universe, yes, I stayed myself at that point, but I am not the same person that I was. So yes, I'm staying myself, but I definitely grown throughout all of the process and the years since that moment.
Absolutely. Now, let's see how my French is in the comments. Michelle has said Félicitations, Dominique, and a très belle entrevue. Is entrevue an interview? Is that what
Yes. Wow.
I? Or that the 4 years of French I did are coming in handy now. And then another one, BND Dominique from France. France.
It's my mother, my number one fan.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fair enough. Dominic, we always end up talking about food on these interviews. You never have a pageant interview without talking about food. And you being French or speaking French,
Yes.
I have to ask you about food. So,
Okay.
what are your favorite foods? Or just tell me about food, because when I think about French food, I think about souffle, I think about pastries, I think about coffee, I think about amazing food. That's all. Now I'm really hungry. But are you a food fan, or you
I
don't
am.
really?
I am. And if you want to start by talking about food, my friends will know that the first thing that will come up is bread. Like, I love bread. Like, I wake up in the morning just to eat my toast. Like, it's my favorite thing in the world. And like eating sandwiches, like it's my favorite thing. Sometimes, like when I was younger, I was like, oh, not a sandwich for my lunch. Now I'm like, can we eat sandwich every day?
Yeah, okay, but the thing that I've heard about bread in France is that it's very, very different. Well, it's a
Yeah.
lot better. Am I right in saying that when you go and get bread, it's fresh pretty much every time?
Like in France, I already went, and it was really like really hard actually, because how it's really fresh when you open it, but the the outside is really hard.
Oh, when you bite into it, you mean the crust is
Yeah, the
really, really
crust. Yeah, exactly. Right word.
right. Okay. So most people, when they go into pageant mode, though, the thing that they have to cut out is bread and pasta. So you wouldn't be able to give up the bread, I'm assuming.
I did give up just for the last 2 weeks, but I wanted to see how far I could go with only just working out, not cutting on my food, and I
Yeah.
tried to count my carbs now and eat less bread. I'm not really a pasta person. I'm just like bread. But I still eat some. Like this morning, I had my toast, or else I wouldn't even wake up. I'm kidding.
Has it been hard to cut back on your bread?
No, because when you really want something more
Okay.
than you like bread.
I'm amazed there's something that you like more than bread. So you mentioned sandwiches. What's your favorite sandwich? What goes in this sandwich?
I love like chicken sandwich. Like here in Canada, we have like little sandwich, like in little triangle made at the grocery store, like it mixed with chicken. It's the best.
I was expecting some really fancy, chicken
No,
this with mustard aioli, and no, it's just in
no, just
triangle.
a basic girl.
Sounds good to me. Okay, also, being in Canada, can you tell me about poutine or poutine? Because I had this argument all the time. I don't like it because I like fries. I like the chips, and then it's got like gravy and cheese on it. So can you tell me about poutine?
Yeah.
Are you a fan? Are you not a fan?
I am a fan because it's potatoes, it's carbs, it's so good. Like, but here the poutine was like made in Quebec. And there's
All right.
like a legend, a myth that it says that it was like a little farmer that was doing like potatoes fry, but he didn't have any more ketchup. And then the milkman passed, and he said with the cheese just put in. So that's why it was made. I swear, I just put in, so that's why it's called poutine.
That doesn't sound right. That
I'm
sounds
not
made.
sure. Just please verify your sources, but that's just like a myth, a story. But actually, poutine was made here in Quebec.
Yeah, I know. I've been told this because I have a friend who was from French Canada,
Okay.
and when I went over there, that's the one thing she made me try was poutine, and it was a bit greasy for me, I have to say. But everyone has their own favorites, so that's all good.
Yeah.
Now back on the comments, more French for me to pronounce.
I
Sylvie
love that.
Thibodeau has said, "Félicitations, ma belle Dominique." Alexandra Landry has just written in capital, "Sandwich cocktail."
Yes, it's the best.
It's making me really hungry talking about this. I haven't had my breakfast yet. I'm talking about food and sandwiches. Stephanie Hubert has said, "So excited for Dominique as Miss Universe Canada with lots of Canadian flags."
Yeah.
And she also said, "And poutine is the best." I'm not buying this whole put in, and that's why.
Story? You don't like it?
Yeah. Well, I think we need mythbusters on that. I need to do some research into whether that's actually true or not.
I didn't took this story on Canada's stats, so don't hate me if that's not true.
That's fine. Just to step away from pageantry a bit,
Yeah.
you mentioned your career. So what do you do for work? Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, I'm a human resources in the gas and oil industry. I work for a family company, not my own family, but a family business from the third generation here in Quebec. It's called Groupe F. Dufresne. It's a French name, but it's a family company. And I love my job because I get to give people job opportunity. And here in Canada, job is such an important part of our journey and in our life. So it's so rewarding for me to make a difference in people's life.
How did you get into that career path? Because here, I'll just tell you, in Australia, to become a human resources manager, you'd probably be looking at maybe mid-30s before you could get to that position. So getting to that position would not be easy. I mean, at your age, you're very young to get there. So how did you manage to get into that career?
It's something that I always knew that I wanted to be surrounded by people and human resources. I studied in Université Laval in Quebec because that career path I couldn't follow in New Brunswick because it's not something that have in their education system. It's not like really common in university, but I've been like studying a bachelor degree in industrial relations. So we learn like labor law, like human resources process. And after that, I graduated, and I graduated on the Tuesday. And on the Thursday, I was hired for a company because I'm really managed and organized in life. And I already had the job two days after I finished graduating. And I'm in a association, the HR Association of Quebec. And I've been recognized last year as one of the leader of the association throughout 10,000 members because of my work. I'm so happy about it.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Where does all this drive come from? I mean, we joked about the fact that you can't sit still, but obviously there are people who can't sit still and then still don't do anything. You obviously, you can't sit still, but you're very focused and you seem to do a lot, be very productive and make a lot of things happen. So what drives you in life? Like what gets you up early in the morning and keeps you up late?
Yeah, it's going to sound cheesy or weird, but when I was really young, I was really like a calm children. I was just asking like, Mom, can I go to bed? And then when I enter school, I went crazy because I had friends, and it's people that drives me. I love to meet people, and having an interview excites me so much, like being around with friends, going to school. It's at that moment. And when the teacher told my mom that I was really like excited and had a lot of energy, she was like, it's not my child. Like, you're not talking about my child. And after, I brought some friends at home, and my mom understood what the teacher meant, because it's the people that really like give me the energy. Like I said, meeting people is just like And that's why I work in human resources. I get to meet people every day.
Your mum must have thought that they brought the wrong child home. She sent her
Yeah.
daughter, and then someone different came back. If you are that sort of person, though, during COVID, has it been difficult for you? Because there are some people who don't mind being by themselves. You're a people person. You need to be around people. So has it been difficult for you, especially during COVID, to maybe lose a bit of that human connection?
It wasn't hard because I had one goal, because I was concentrating on getting prepared for Miss Universe Canada. And it was actually easier because all my friend was doing nothing too. And they weren't texting me or messaging me or calling me, hey, what you want to do? Because we needed to stay home. So it helped me be more focused and be more prepared for Miss Universe Canada. It was hard, but now with technology, we can still like talk to each other and
Yeah. So what plans do you have? Win or otherwise at Universe Canada, what is the first thing that you're going to do?
I will be an ambassador for the YWCA for the next year. They're doing like an event, and they're bringing light to women who like got out of poverty and find some job. I also help immigrant women right now with their resume, because I work in HR, so it's like two birds, one stone. I get to help them find a job during COVID, and I really like to empower women. And with the YWCA, I want to work with them to do a workshop for self-esteem. And either if I win or not, it's projects that I have. I will also do a small master degree. It's not like a master degree, it's just like half of it in like human resources, creativity, innovation, and working from home. It's like at Université Laval in January. I might postpone it if I become Miss Universe Canada, but I always want to have plan B, so I have plans and life continue running.
Yeah. I don't think you have plan B. I think you probably have plan C, D, E.
Yeah, exactly.
You rely just on plan A and plan B. Now, you'll have to help me with this one. My French is not good enough. So Lawrence here has said, Félicitations pour ton... What's parcours, Dominique?
It's your path, like your journey.
Your journey. Okay. So I should have brushed up on my French before I did this interview. Alexandra has said, I can confirm she cannot sit still, but she is the most motivated person I've ever met.
Oh, that's so nice. I
got to say, I've met a lot of motivated people, but I would agree with Alexandra here. You seem to be super, super motivated. So the question has to be, when you have a downtime, and everyone's had a bit of a downtime COVID, when, let's say, you're not so motivated, or let's say you don't have your bread or you don't have your toast in the morning.
Yeah.
How do you get the motivation back? Because there's so many people who want to be motivated like you all the time. So if you ever lose your motivation, how do you get it back?
I think that I started to read a lot more during COVID. I wasn't really a reading person. Like I didn't read lots of books, but during COVID, I read lots of books. I read Untamed by Glennon Doyle. It's really like motivating books. And also I think sometimes we need to put our mind aside of our project and stop our focus, and for a few hours just watch a TV show that's not really related, and after you'll get even more motivated when you come back. Because sometimes when you're too much into it and you just think about it, as much as the preparation is really important, you need to put it aside to put your mind straight afterwards.
Yeah. Can we just talk about your circle of friends for a sec? Because I mean, you've got a lot of energy, right? So do your friends ever have to tell you to slow down or to calm down, or have you surrounded yourself with people who are as energetic as you, and you kind of all build each other up and you all become crazy and enthusiastic together?
No, I have friends that are really more relaxed, and that's something that I'm really looking for in a friend, because sometimes I need a balance. And yes, all the time people tell me to relax, but like my boss at work, she's like sometimes giving me like, oh, Dominique is standing up. She's getting crazy for 5 minutes. It won't be long, guys, in the office. It's gonna like I need to sometimes just talk after I calm down and I'm okay. And just like that, people really know me and know that it's really just me being crazy. And they accept me for who I am. And I realize of my 25 year of living that sometimes I'll be too much for people, but those are not my people. That's Glennon Doyle words, actually, from her book.
That's fair enough. Have you ever met anyone who's more energetic than yourself?
Yes, I did. There's lots of people that's energetic because sometimes the vibes attract the tribes. Like Alexandra Landry, she's a good one, but she have her moments and I have mine.
Okay. So aside from the pageantry and obviously your HR career, when you want to just relax or some time off, what do you do for hobbies or relaxation?
I think the only time that I actually relax and breathe, like it's when I do yoga or when I work out, because I'm really concentrating and putting my energy into how my body reacts and not how I talk. And that's what I do to really relax. And I love to train, and it's helped us a lot with the mental health too during COVID.
Of course. Did you find yoga difficult at all? Because yoga is very calm. It's very slow. I know because I've done a lot of yoga and I actually love parts of it. One time I did fall asleep at the end. But
that's amazing.
Savasana pose or corpse pose at the end when you're just lying back, and I fell asleep. But did you find it difficult being such an energetic and bubbly person to slow down and be a bit quieter for yoga?
Yes, it was hard. Yes, it's hard, but it helped us find the balance like I told you, and actually find like that I can just relax for an hour. And if I can do it for an hour, I can do it for far more longer, and I can do it in meetings, and I can do it in an interview, and I can do it on stage to make sure people know that I'm confident.
Sounds good. Okay. Dominique, just before we do our final 10 questions, I like to give people a chance to do shout outs and thank yous. So is there anyone, I'm sure there is, that you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to for supporting you along your journey, both pageantry and life in general?
So much people. I want to take first of all my friend Marie Turcotte, who's been one of my photographer during all of my journey, and she's been taking a photo shoot like last weekend with her livified jeans. I think all of my friends just listening to my pageant stories, because most of my friends don't even know what pageant is, and just listening to me talk about pageant and they don't even know, but now they're following all of the pageant like account on Instagram, and they're following pageant because they know it's important for me, so they made it a priority for themselves. People who have been listening to me, like people who have been just supporting me. And coming from a small community like Hamilton, New Brunswick, you get raised not only by your parents but by your whole community. And just the patience for my mother, for all of my coaches, my fitness coaches, so many people that I don't want to name it personally so I don't forget anyone.
Yeah, that's smart, because you probably have so many people to thank that you would leave some.
Yes, because behind every pageant girl, there's an army.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to ask you, this is one of your latest photos on your Instagram.
Yes, it's Marie Turcotte, my friend, that took it.
These colors are amazing, though. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. You French are very stylish. But can you tell us a little bit about it? I mean, it's bright yellow colors, and those pants look amazing as well.
Yeah, I think on a daily basis, I always like wore some like blacks and darker color. But I wanted to people that don't know me to see my Instagram and relate to me as being an energetic person, being dynamic. So I wanted to put more color into my Instagram feed so people know me or see a perception of who I am in my photos.
And this is the same brand here, is it? Livify?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So we have
the scents are amazing.
There you go.
Yes.
All right. Looks very, very fashionable, very, very fancy.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So let's go through these final 10 questions. Now, I will tell you, it's not a speed round. You don't need to answer as quickly as you can.
Okay.
Having said that, if you want to, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. Okay. So the first question is, what is your favorite word?
Oh, it's a French word. It's a French expression. So it's bon sang. I always say bon sang, and I can't translate it really. It's weird.
Is sant sort of health? Does it
No,
mean no?
it's like blood. Like it's written like that. Like
Okay.
it's
Good
weird.
blood.
We can't really translate it.
Okay. Question 2, what is your least favorite word?
I would say, oh, that's a tough question. I would say worms because I don't like worms. Like I ate it
What don't you like about worms? You don't like
because
looking at
they are so disgusting. And one time, my brother actually put a fake one into my bed when I was young, and I couldn't find it. Then I needed to sleep with a fake worm, and it traumatized me. So I think it's the word that I hate the most.
Okay, so if I ever want to play a practical joke on you, I just need to find a worm to put somewhere. Okay.
Please
Good to
don't
know.
do that.
No one do that. Okay. Question 3. In life, this will be tough for you because there's a lot of choices. In life, what gets you excited or what turns you on?
People, I'm repeating myself, but it's really people. I love to be around them. That's why I work in human resources. And I think that's the main reason also why I get involved in pageantry, because we get to meet so many amazing women and successful women, and just meeting them inspire me. And I want to be surrounded by inspired people like they are.
Yeah. Okay, so that was what turns you on. What about what turns you off?
People that only thinks about themselves, so selfish people. I hate that. Because I love people and I love to be there for them, but I hate it when people only think about one because we are all in this together.
Yeah. Okay, question 5. What sound or noise do you love?
I think I love music, any kind of it. And I love like listening to my friends sing, and that's really a thing that I like.
Are you a Celine Dion fan?
Yes, who is not?
You can't come from your country, I guess, and not be a Celine Dion fan.
No.
That's fair enough. Question 6. What sound or noise do you hate?
When I sing. And it annoys a lot of people too because I can't sing, but I love to.
Would you like to demonstrate now? You can sing at the
Oh, I think we will have no more people in the live if I think.
It's okay. They can just turn it down. Do you have a favorite song that you like to sing?
Oh, no, it depends on my mood. I think if I'm like feeling happy, I will sing Don't Worry, Be Happy, and it all depends on how I feel. And sometimes songs remind me of some moments because you heard that song with that certain people, and after you think about that song when you think about that people or when you're with that person. So I think I associate songs with how I feel and who I am with, actually.
That's exactly how I feel about it. France has written mono. I
You don't want me to sing, I think.
Oh, really bad. Okay. All right, I'll take your word for it. Question 6. What sound or noise do you hate?
Sound or noise that I hate? I hate like nails on chalkboard.
Yep.
I don't have anything more to say, so that's it. Final answer.
Wow. Look, Francie has written no from Dominique. Now I'm curious to see how bad it is. Alexandra has written Bob Bissonette.
It's a singer that died a few years ago, and he was a singer, like just in like little pub. He was a Quebecer singer, like known just here in Quebec, not across all the world and not across Canada. It's a French singer who sing like songs about hockey, like Méditer sur ma palette. Yeah, French people will know.
Hockey.
Yeah, hockey song. He was a fighter in like junior hockey, and he was like after he became a singer in little like bars.
Right. Okay. I've never heard a song about hockey before. That's amazing.
Really? There's lots.
We don't have ice hockey here in Australia. We have field hockey, but I've never heard a song about hockey at all. So
it's our national sport, so there's so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, question 7. If you could have any one superpower, what would you pick and why?
I would love to be able to read minds because, like, I have a love for people and be able to understand them even more. Because sometimes when you talk or when you do something, people don't really understand. And sometimes the way they say something, it's not really how they meant it. So being able to read their mind would be my favorite superpower to have.
Very good. Okay, question 8. What job or occupation other than your own would you most like to attempt?
Definitely the job and title of Miss Universe Canada, because I think I can handle the responsibility, and it's definitely a hard job that not everyone can do, and it would be a dream job. Or not, if that's not it, I would love to be a stand-up comedy, but I'm probably the only one laughing at my joke most of the time.
Okay, that's fair enough. Okay, what job would you definitely not like to attempt?
I would not like to, I think the worst job would be in the healthcare system. And I really want to like mention how their work is amazing right now with the COVID situation. And my mother had been working for the COVID and she's doing an amazing job. They're so dedicated, but I think you need to have it in your heart to want to do it because it's a passion. It's something you have inside you, because I don't think anybody can do that. And you need to have it inside, and it needs to be just like in your soul, I think. And I really like just want to shout out all of them who have been working so hard. And we're lucky in Canada to have a free healthcare system, but they're working so hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. And that goes for around the world as well. There's a lot of countries that are probably not as fortunate as Canada or Australia in their healthcare systems. Final question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
That my grandfather was waiting for me, because my grandfather passed away in 2004 and he's my greatest inspiration. He had lots of energy, and on December 1994 he asked my mother for a gift for the next Christmas, and it would be to have a little granddaughter. And it's 9 months later I was making my first step into the world. And he fought for his place in the Korean War. He fought for his place on a junior hockey team for the love of our national sport. He fought for his place at Lac Louise as a culinary chef. And he fought his battle against cancer, but he unfortunately didn't win. But I know he's here supporting me. And if I would go to heaven, it's just to meet him.
Beautiful. Okay. Well, Dominique, that's about it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much to you. And I wanted actually to shout out to all of my sponsors that have been also supporting me. I forgot them in the shout out, but I want to thank them so much. Everyone who have been supporting me, helping me, giving services, money for my registration fees, and everyone. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you for your time. It was amazing. Good question.
Yeah, you don't want to forget to shout out your sponsors.
That was a rookie mistake.
I'm sure they'll forgive you. So Universe Canada, you said, is in about 12 days' time. Will it be live streamed, just so that people know? So live streamed where? Be on Facebook?
YouTube, Facebook usually.
Okay. All right. So if you want to watch Dominique compete, then make sure that you tune in on YouTube But otherwise, I'll keep you on the line with me for just a sec, Dominique. I'll let the audience go. So thanks to everyone for watching, whether it's live or on the replay. And we will speak to you again very, very soon.
Thank you so much again.
Hey, it's Adrian again. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember to head up to pageantlaunch.com to join the launch team for our pageant review site. All you have to do is enter your email address. It's completely free. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with your friends and follow us on all our socials. Thanks, and see you next time.